Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the Nairobi MCAs were well prepared to impeach their governor, Johnson Sakaja, because of various reasons. Already, the process of collecting signatures had been activated. More than 78 MCAs had signed to approve the impeachment of the governor. So, what rescued Sakaja is a meeting that Raila Odinga had at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation and the State House meeting that Ruto had with the MCS. So ODM MCS met with Raila Odinga separately. Then UDA MCS called to State House. Imagine when you are called to State House, how do you argue with your boss? At least if it is somewhere else, yani nikikuita kwa nyumba yangu, pale naishi, whether ni ya kukodisha ama ni nini, lakini pale ndio naishi, so I'm going to dictate. That is what happened. After that 2 meetings, the move to impeach Sakaja was withdrawn, and Sakaja was asked to try and resolve some of the issues that the MCS were raising. So, Sakaja was served by 2 people, ODM party leader and the UDA party leader. That move did not sit well with the Kisumu woman rep, Ruth Odinga. Ruth Odinga is and was unhappy with the move by MCS to stop the process rather than moving it to the end so that we can understand where is the truth. She believed that those who stopped the MCS were wrong, and MCS did not serve justice to the people of Nairobi by dropping the process to impeach Sakaja.
The issue of devolution. And one of the main tenets of devolution is that the MCAs are oversights of the county governments. And therefore, the actual fact that the MCAs of Nairobi came out to oversight and say that they had no confidence in the governor of Nairobi should have been recognized, and nothing should have been done. They should have been allowed to go through with that petition. And I tell the Nairobi MCAs that they should have continued with their process, so that if in case they feel wronged, let them impeach him, let him go to Senate. Let Senate then say that whether he's right or not. But to stop the process when there was already grievances. I am from Kenya, I'm not from Nairobi. I am somebody who is actually a believer in devolution and oversight. And therefore for me, I feel disappointed in what the Nairobi MCS have done. They should have gone through the process. They should have ensured that we actually uphold the devolution, the tenet of devolution that states that the MCAs are the actual oversights of the governor. So for me, I'm very clear and categorical that the MCAs of Nairobi have let down the people of Nairobi.
Now, I want us to continue with the panel discussion, but before we go into that, I have a quick and humble request. For those who are watching the channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. I feel disappointed with MCS stopping the process of oversight. Those are not my words. It is Ruth Odinga's statement. She is not happy that the process was stopped. MCS have a duty and responsibility to oversight the county government. It is true. Just like the members of parliament have a duty to oversight the national government, that is executive. So MCS was stopped. Who stopped them? 2 people. Raila, William Ruto. In other words, Ruth Odinga is indirectly communicating to Raila Odinga that personally she is not happy that you stopped the oversight in Nairobi. MCS would have proceeded, but Raila Odinga called them and he cautioned them to stop impeaching Sakaja. So who tampered with the impeachment? It is the ODM party leader after calling the MCS on a meeting. Because after that meeting, we saw the process being halted. Hawakuendelea na mpango ya impeachment. And so, in a very big way, Ruth Odinga's party leader was involved in this. And therefore, she is here registering her protest against the move by her party leader to stop an oversight process. So she is here to protest. She is here to disagree with Raila Odinga. Another person who stopped the process of oversight is William Ruto. Today, ODM, UDA, they are in a broad-based arrangement. They are working together. So Ruto and Raila are working together. And therefore, these parties have been brought together here so that they can work together. In that move, Winnie is complaining about the person who stopped the process of oversight. Ruto again was involved. And so, Ruth Odinga is protesting against Ruto's move to call MCS to State House so that they can stop an oversight process. And you look here, this decision by Ruto to call MCS to State House, I believe MCS were called just to be lectured. Because this is State House. Haikuwa hata kwa hoteli mahali pengine penye you can argue. It was State House. So State House, it is the authority of the president. So Ruto called this MCS for a lecture. Warning. Ndio maana wakaenda State House. So ingekuwa in a moderate ground, it should have been at a different place. Labda kwa hoteli ama kwingine. But now going there, it means they were going for a lecture. So MCS went to State House kupewa lecture. Stop that thing of impeachment. Stop it. Of course, we know the reasons why Ruto and Raila were so much interested in stopping the impeachment. The fear of a by-election. Because the intention of the MCS was to impeach both the governor and the deputy governor. Mushiri pia alikuwa anaenda. Hakuna mahali alikuwa anabaki. So they were going to be a by-election. Kwa nini ODM wasinge trust mtu kama Babu Owino asimame basi? Why fear Gachagua? Because there was the worry that you are given a chance to Gachagua. So Ruth Odinga is uncomfortable and is protesting against William Ruto's move to stop an oversight process. That's why she's saying that she's so much disappointed with the move by MCS to stop the impeachment. But then, now her blame to the MCS. I want to agree with Ruth Odinga. But again, if you flop the coin, there is also the other side of the coin that the MCS looked at, which again we have to talk about. The MCS would have gone on with the process of impeachment. But you have stopped. That means the MCS are weak. They have been coerced. And therefore the people of Nairobi cannot be served with justice through the people whom they elected. And you know, when you elect these people, you are delegating your power responsibility. MCS have delegated power and responsibilities that they were given by the electorate to represent them. Today, they have refused or misused that power that they were given by the people to impeach Sakaja. Some of the reasons why the MCS stopped the impeachment, in my view, is because they were also threatened. There was threats from State House. Leave alone even watu wa ODM, hawa ni wakuambiwa please. How there were threats from State House. That you try this and expect this. Umaifika kiwango mtu anakuthreaten na anakupea pesa. So they give you some money and they're threatening you. What do? You take the money and keep quiet. That's why we are saying that when you are electing leaders, elect leaders who cannot be compromised, who are not corrupt. Because if I'm not corrupt, there is too little you can threaten me about. But if I'm corrupt, you wave my file, I go silent. Ni vizuri mkichagua viongozi ambao sio wepesi wa kuhusika kwa corruption. Itasaidia because they can stand their grounds. Unless if you are threatening me with my life, it will take away my life. So MCS were threatened. Imagine a president threatening MCS. Utafanya nini wewe kama MCA? There is too little you can do. You just follow. That is also what might have happened, which led to the MCS withdrawing the impeachment. But above all, Ruth Odinga has spoken their mind. MCS should have neither listened to Ruto nor Raila Odinga, but proceed with the process of the impeachment. That is her position. So going by that, you will agree that the people of Nairobi were denied justice. We should have listened to this until tuone ya kwamba labda MCA ni kama wananalia governor ama governor ako na makosa, tujue ukweli. I don't know your views, but please let us meet in the comment section to continue with our discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.